All right, experience plus retail. Apple Store, probably 3 out of 4 people who go there don't buy. I don't know the exact statistic, do you?
No.
Disney Store, lots of games and videos being played, things to do there. I went to the Nespresso store in San Francisco. I don't know if you've seen that one on Union Square, but it's a cafe. And then in the basement you can buy the pods, and the machines are everywhere, and it's an artistic endeavor.
Right.
Microsoft stores, maybe Google stores at some point. What do you think of this experiential retail concept? Is this with us to stay? You mentioned JCPenney tried and failed.
Yeah, because it's hard to change such a large ship, you know.
So it didn't work for JCPenney. Could it work for others?
Yes, it's, well, I mean, out of necessity. I think it's the only thing that's going to survive.
Out of all retail, the only thing that will survive is experiential.
I think the Nespresso store is probably even the best example, because they're a cafe and just you happen to buy the things. There's a great Canadian chain called Lululemon, which is all over the place now, and they're switching their locations to be yoga studios, because like it's so much. It's not about the product. It's about what's being represented, and I think we roughly knew this, right? So, like no one just has taken this to its logical conclusion. You know, people want to experience something when they go to these places, because you can't just optimize for a single one thing with value, because that just destroys the value for everyone. So there needs to be something special, and I think the Apple Store, like every retailer should want it to be more like the Apple Store the second the first Apple Store was out there. It was clearly that this was a better idea, and again, extremely innovative in that way. So I think this is where retail is going. So you have to figure out what is it that you truly add to the equation, and this is going to be a hard question to ask themselves for a lot of folks who are selling right now.
What would you do if you were Best Buy?
I have no idea what to do with Best Buy. Giving
the CEO of Shopify has no, and you've been studying e-commerce for a decade. You have no idea how to solve that problem. You think they're going to die, like Circuit City did?
I think so. I think they're going to die. Now, like, I give companies chances that are actively experimenting, and Best Buy is actively experimenting. Handing over a little part of their floor plates to Apple for full ownership, and now to Microsoft today was in the news too. So in a way, maybe like the Best Buy segments out like a grid in their stores and starts parceling out these two different brands. That might be a model that might work. But honestly, I don't know.
So you could experience all these different brands. There's a Samsung corner, a Microsoft corner, and an Apple corner. But why would Apple want to be in the same store as Microsoft and Samsung?
Right, then it becomes back to distribution, right? Like, and Apple already has its own distribution, so that might not be valuable to Apple anymore, and they can control. Like, if you ever go to like an Apple corner in a Best Buy, you know, they control, it's the nicest table in the entire Best Buy, it's the Apple one, but the light above it is still a Best Buy light, and therefore nothing looks as nice as it does in the Apple Store. So it doesn't quite work with the current approach, but maybe that's the kind of things which can be potentially optimized.
Who do you think's done interesting stuff in that space? Have you seen anybody who said, wow, that's what it should be? Lululemon, you mentioned.
I think Lululemon is absolutely on the right path, and it's sort of, I use them as there's a lot of people following this, but then you get into crazier experiments. Box Park in London is, I think, awesome.
What's that?
It's a mall in the middle of London, which is completely made out of containers. They take shipping containers, normal 40-footers, stack them in an interesting way, and then tell Puma to come and own one and turn it into whatever. You know, I think that's cool. And then those things might actually not last very long. I mean, they might be going away in a week or whatever.
So pop-up stores.
Pop-up stores, or the logical conclusion of pop-up stores, I think might be great. Because for a retailer, so, I mean, Shopify, I think, significantly simplifies the process of getting your business started. And we are successful when our customers are successful, so there's lots of value in us helping people along. So you have a great iPad case or whatever, and you want to build a business surrounding that. So you do that, you get noticed, your store blows up, you learn a bit about other kind of things you need to do on the internet, like AdWords and these kind of things. You build this online business. But that's a silo, right? You want to do offline things. The problem is there's nothing between having these products and then signing a year lease, because that's how a retail world works.